Alright, games I played, best games I played 2019, same like last year, but this time it's different. Starting off with the honorable mentions, we first have The Silver Case. Grasshopper's debut title, a PS1 visual novel with the expected charm and style found in both presentation and narrative, and I guess that's about it. Thief 2 is a masterpiece, stealth and immersive sim hybrid that, while clunky, still hasn't been topped by any other game since. Red Dead Redemption 2, listen, dragging tied up Chinese immigrants through the pavement and sending is fun, okay? Okay? Backspace Boken is a cute typing dungeon crawler that you never heard of and will never play either. But you should though. Metal Gear Survive. It ain't bad, but it ain't good either. Metal Wolf Chaos XD. It's Kino, but the remaster done fucked it up. Gato Roboto is a standard Metroidvania with a cutesy style that contrasts heavily with the fucking sublime and surreal soundtrack. Final Fantasy Tactics is an amazing TRPG or tactical RPG or strat. Is it? I don't fucking know. It will have you on your knees begging for mercy though. Either that or constantly grinding. Even with the Switch developers, Wrath of Heaven is still peak Tenchu, jank and all. OST shouldn't go unnoticed either. Siren is another janky PS2 game with a dense, surreal, and fearful atmosphere. Frustrating everything else though. First game we have on the list is, of course, DMC5. And you cannot believe how fucking glad I am that we finally have a feature-complete AAA Devil May Cry game in current year that isn't a total botch job of an abomination. Reception of the game has grown a bit divisive shortly after release, and while I do agree that the amount of time spent in the Prolapse Tower is a bit too much, or that Lady's Manjaw and Trish's Horseface are very real faults, everything else ended up max acting my expectations. Despite the deadweight title, Nero plays better than ever before, with Devil Breakers drastically elevating the skill ceiling for a coup d'easy. V is, well, V's different. And even with the least additions, Dante is still the best out of them all, with the ability to make everyone in the room his bitch, mainly by way of Michael Jackson hat. Took a while, but I think we finally have a game that could beat out the MC3, and really, all it took was some expansion and polishing until making the levels not shit. I played the original Hotline Miami to death a few years back, and just like 99% of the Earth's population, I thought it was an absolute masterpiece. And even though I was foaming at the mouth for more content, I, oddly enough, procrastinated on playing the sequel for years after its release. And now I don't know if I was just misinformed about it, or I wasn't ready. Yeah, no, I still wasn't. Where the fuck do I even begin? More weapons, diverse characters, the most visceral variety of beats found in the soundtrack that I'm sure is going to blast the video into copyright hell, and an all-caps heavy narrative with a bombastic ending that will leave you with a sickening, gut-wrenching feeling weeks after finishing it. This is fucking good play. What else can I say about this game that hasn't been drilled into your insignificant consciousness to death already? The game feels fucking tight to navigate and kill shit in despite the constant sliding around in butter. Pixel art is immaculate even though a good 50% of it is reused assets from an old PC engine. And the soundtrack is a bop among bops that would be socially acceptable to listen to in public if it weren't for the crusty 90s instrumentation found in every track. It's what all the kids call Kino, so don't be a jackass like me and play the fucking thing if you haven't already. And as a side note, every other Igavania after this one sucks, but Bloodstain gets a pass because of Mommy Miriam's massive milkers. Superliminal is a title that I felt was slept on amongst the bevy of indie titles rushing out the door. Many people hail this game as the next Portal, and while I don't really see it that way, I still think it's an impressive feat in programming and design. It's a mind-bending puzzle game all about perspective and perception of items, warping their skill and position on a whim to overcome obstacles. Similar to Portal, the game features an underlying insidious narrative with lots of witty dialogue that often falls into deaf ears as the amazingly cozy and relaxing slow jazz piano score puts you in the mood to solve some puzzles. My only issue with it being that set puzzles are short and extremely simple to solve, and before you know it, the game is over. It is by all means a tech demo, a game that lays the groundwork for a concept that could be seemingly expanded into something much grander and complex. And I definitely think this game would benefit greatly from a more fleshed out sequel or at least some DLC. Free or paid, I'd still be down for it. Now, I've flirted with the Contra series here and there, and true to my nature, I always go for the mature ones, especially since none of the younger ones look any appealing these days. And even after all these years, Super C doesn't feel a day past its prime. While a bit more simple than its successors, it still has that spice of variety that makes it lots of fun and can even go for hours at a time. It's surprisingly tight as well. My time with Super C was the best I have with any other Contra title, and I'd be willing to go back to it at any time. I know I'm already gonna have some disagreements with this pick, but hear me out. Maybe this game wasn't meant for you. Playing through TSA, I ended up getting a different experience compared to the vast majority of people that checked it out. People bought into the hype thinking it was going to be another wacky, crazy Suda game, and make no mistake, it's definitely a dumb, stupid Suda game. But in reality, it's a game that tones it down and harkens back to the more bullshit, subversive tropes of Grasshopper titles like Killer 7 and Silvercase, even going as far as finally bringing all these characters back and having them interact with each other after years of blue balling with subtle nods and references. Not gonna lie, there were a few times I was soying out, jumping up and down my $3,500 gaming chair with mouth agape. It had me appreciating the more quieter, introspective moments that I learned to love about these games and marginally preferred over. Now that is a big bonus. And yeah, while I won't argue that the gameplay can get a bit long in the tooth, the same can be said for a 5 to 7 hour long rail shooter and several visual novels, including one that has you reading from a goddamn textbook to solve math riddles for the smallest inconveniences. What I'm trying to say is that TSA was made for people who loved all of Grasshopper's games, and it was fucking beautiful seeing everyone being filtered out and bounce off of this game immediately. And while at first I didn't approve of the franchise hostage situation at all, we're still getting another NMH, and it looks real fucking good so far. So I guess, no harm done. Real talk, nobody plays Beat Sabers for the tracks in the game. They're all sleep-inducing, annoying, and it's just shit music. It's only gotten slightly better with a few DLC packs, but I ain't paying for that shit anytime soon. It's all about the custom tracks. Being able to sway your hips and swing your arms to the beat of any funk track, or playing notes with your arms on literally every single expert plus Eurobeat song for hours on end like an Omega artist. And it's also a good fucking workout if you know how to push yourself. Hell, even making and repeatedly testing your own tracks to perfection is still fun as hell. Hey, I made a video about this game. Check it out. Banango. So last year's pick was a cult classic rail shooter with an art house aesthetic. So this year, I'm picking a cult classic rail shooter with an art house aesthetic. But Y2K. The fusion of audio and visual presentation combined to craft a rhythmic, sensory experience like no other. All thanks in large part to the amazing score by a collaboration of amazing trance, house, and techno artists. And even with its identity being unmistakably tied to the period of its release, it still feels like a timeless game from a timeless console. It's extremely simple and can be beat in 2 hours, but the ride you go on will leave a heavy impression on you. You can even use a fucking vibrator hooked up to your PS2. Tequila Dog. Okay, so this is the part where I ad-lib and completely fuck up every single sentence because I have no fucking idea how to talk. But I just want to say, once again, thank you all for subscribing and checking out this channel in 2019, making this a somewhat sufferable year for me. God damn it. It's been a hard fucking year for me personally, which is of course why I haven't been doing anything on the channel, and I've pretty much completely lost motivation to make any fucking videos at all. Lucky for you guys, I still have a couple of finished scripts and some videos I'm in the midst of editing, so the dream ain't completely dead. Yeah, this is Sonicbolt, and fuck you.